Now we will continue on to subtraction using the abacus. So let's start with something simple, such as 5 subtract 2. So here we have 5 units, and to subtract 2, we will just need to remove that and move these 4 up, and that's 1 unit subtracted. And now, taking away 1 more, we have 3 as required. Moving on to something a little bit more complicated, let's subtract 8 from 24. So first, let's represent 24 using the abacus, and here it is. Now notice that there are not 8 units in the 1's value. So all we have to do is borrow from the 10's value. This is similar to what we see in our modern day schooling. So first, we will subtract 10 units in the 10's value, but remember we only wanted to subtract 8. That means we subtracted 2 too many, meaning we have to add 2 to compensate for that. So adding 2 to this column, there's 1, and here's a second, and we have 16 as required. Let's finish off by subtracting something that is a little bit more difficult. 496,854 subtract 157,458. So let's first represent that number by writing it up here to save a little bit of time. 496 and 854. And there we have it. So let's subtract 157,458 from this point. So let's start over here, and that's a little simple, just removing 1. There we have it. Now we have to remove 5 in this column. That's easy as well. But here we run into a little bit of a roadblock because we have 6 beads and we need to subtract 7. So we need to borrow from this one. So once again, we're going to subtract from here, and we're going to add 3 in this column. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to subtract 4 in this column. 1, 2, 3, and we put that up, and that's 4. And we're going to subtract 5 in this column now, and that's that. And let's subtract 8 in this column. Now once again we have a problem because there's only 4 beads, so we have to borrow from here. But this is a problem as well because there's not anything to borrow from, so we have to move over even one more column. So now we're actually subtracting 100 units, meaning we have to add 90, and we have to add a couple more in this column. There's 1 and 2. So our final number is 339,396. Let's double check if that's correct. Come here, scroll down, and it does match, so that's how you subtract using the Japanese Soroban Abacus.